to the judge takes the information given.
Yeah, he just has information in front of him.
Right, and which primarily comes from the caseworker.
Well, Sherry, do you think that, because I'm hearing what you're saying, do you think that the worker may have felt that you had gotten too attached to the kids? Why she wanted to remove them and put them?
Well, they were up for adoption with y'all.
Well, they were going to be for an adoption.
So it was going to be a permanent setting. Yeah. So it wasn't just like a foster care. These were going into a permanent home for these children that she'd have since three days old.
Right.
Yes.
So that's why I was trying to see why did she was so adamant about putting them
You know
back.
what? I don't know. She comes and tells us one day we're going to be adopting them, and that there's no way the parents can finish their case plan. And I think it was like 3 or 4 months. 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, the mom's finished her case plan, and she's returning the children in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And because she had gone to was it 1 or 2 things that she had to go to or something, and she wasn't even anywhere near compliant. And my husband and I saw, because we knew what they were going back into, and we would have, it became the point, it wasn't anymore about whether or not we were going to adopt, it was about the safety of these children. Right. And we were scared for them. And the guardian ad litem got up and told him, she says, I fear for these little girls.
So did you follow them up? Did you?
I tried, and they said, we can't tell you anything.
How long were they in your custody?
14, 15 months.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah. And especially, depending on, what happened with that parent, they used to give them at least 18 months, to get themselves together. And then they evaluate that to see if they did come into compliance. And in your case, the parent did not, but they still removed that child from a safe environment and carried that child back into harm's way. Yeah. So what happened to those children?
I don't know.
She don't know.
Wow.
I still to this day don't know.
Wow. Wow.
See, and that's what she was saying. It's the miscommunication.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. There might be people that are power hungry and control, and that's, I mean, go, and I'm not saying the caseworker was like that. I mean, I don't know her, never have met her, but it seems like your heart has to be for those children. If they're sitting there in a safe environment, and then you have a parent that they've been taken away, so evidently the court just don't take them away to take them away.
Right.
Yeah. See, I mean, you've been in the system. We know what.
Right.
And then to see a loving family raise and nurture them children, you would want the best for the child. This is why small voice is silence, like you said.
Right. Well, the bad thing is that my husband and I, we were trying to. There's a train wreck that's about to crash.
Yeah, you're trying to avoid.
Right. If there was an aunt in Wisconsin that these girls could, we would have pushed for that. We didn't want them going back to where they came from because we knew what awaited them, because nothing had changed. And so we were yelling and hey, you got to stop the. And no, it was the apathy.
Nobody was taking your word that you had these children in your house every day, and no one was listening to the main people that they needed to be listening
to. The people who knew them the best.
And knew what and loved them enough to say, if they don't stay with us, please get them to someone that they're going to be safe with.
Yes, and we said, this isn't about adoption anymore. It's about what's best for these children.
Yeah.
And so the small voices silence. The name is because our voices were silenced. The children, they were too young to speak. So who do you have? You have those who live with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, speak on their behalf, and they do. It's a federal act, act of Congress in 1997, the Safe Families and Adoption Act. It's passed by President Clinton. That says they are to be notified of any hearing or procedures involving this child. And we were told a totally different location. We weren't told the truth.
When they went to, when y'all were going to court to be told, and somebody told you a totally, I read that in the book, told y'all a totally different thing. It was like almost they waylaid you on purpose. Now, we don't know, but
Yeah.
And also, you did say that y'all went, and when y'all did go to court, no one asked y'all anything.
No.
Y'all just sat there. I don't even, you were just
invisible.
sitting there. You were invisible. No one, the judge or the caseworker, no one brought y'all up. So their voice was never heard
Ours
in
was
this whole
not.
thing.
So in silencing our voices, then they
silence
silenced
the kids.
You're right. And
That's
there was a
right.
report they put out which has a place for the caretaker. And we kept telling the caseworker, we want it on the record how we feel. So in that area, all she put is they're good foster parents, which told the judge one or two things: either we didn't care enough to voice an opinion, or we were okay with it.
Yeah.
And she didn't put. So our voices had been silent. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah. And it's a possibility too. Things were written up like they were because she had not completed her job, and it's another possibility that the supervisor in that area probably had so many
That's
Exactly.
and couldn't oversee everything that every counselor or every
Exactly.
person was doing, and so some things did fall up under the table. And it's ironic that that had to happen with you, because one of the things that we used to teach in MAP in class 2 and 4, we kept reiterating the possibility that those children would return into their homes.